Got a fantastic example for you today of the terrifying bipartisan consensus in this town. We already covered, wasn't that yesterday? Mitch McConnell being upset about the drawdown, not even removing all troops from Afghanistan and Iraq, but some troops from Afghanistan and Iraq. He was joined yesterday in what were truly insane comments from Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth. Let's take a listen.
All of the military commanders have spoken up and said this is the wrong thing to do. We want our troops home, but let's not bring them home in body bags. And that's potentially what's going to happen if this president gets his way and puts his own political timeline ahead of our national security.
Nope, there you go, Krystal. It doesn't mean anything. How are they, if they're coming home, how can they come home in body bags? And look, I think what she's trying to say is like, well, it's going to endanger a lot of our troops that are already there. I have a solution for that, which is that you take them all out and then nobody comes home in a body bag. But this is terrifying, the bipartisan consensus. It's her, Dan Crenshaw, Adam Kinzinger. These are Republicans. Mitt Romney, Ben Sasse, Mitch McConnell. I mean, I can count on one hand the number of people who have publicly supported Trump in the withdrawal from Afghanistan. It's like Hawley and like one other guy. The libertarians are all like happy for once with Trump. I'm like, what the hell is going on Capitol Hill? But I know, which is that they are bought into this consensus, conditions-based approaches, and they just want to keep the war going forever. According to them, there will never be conditions on the ground in which it is safe to come home from Afghanistan. That is the truth. They want to stay forever. They just keep spouting. It's this bullshit. I mean, there's no other word for it. It makes me so angry. I've covered this war for 10 years, and the rhetoric on it has not changed in that entire time.
Well, it's so bizarre to imagine that our troops would be safer in an endless war than brought home. Like, that's just completely insane and stupidity on its face. And you know, the thing about Tammy Duckworth, who's a veteran herself, of course.
God bless her, her service, her sacrifice.
100%. And look, but I looked into, she was being floated as a potential Biden VP at one point. And so I really looked into her record, something that a lot of journalists didn't do with the various VP contenders, to see how she'd voted with the thought of like, look, she's a veteran. She's seen, obviously, she's lived the cost of war here. And some of her votes were, in fact, encouraging. In fact, she had supported an advanced withdrawal from Afghanistan previously. So this also plays in a dynamic not only of the normal, like, military-industrial complex and groupthink in this town, but there's also the dynamic of, like, the Trump derangement syndrome in the Democratic Party, where even people who under Barack Obama or now Joe Biden may have supported this action, because it's Trump and because the way he does it and because he freaks them out, then they just oppose reflexively whatever it is that he's doing. And I think that's part of what's feeding this moment right now as well.
Oh, 100%. Like you said. And it's like Biden, too. Biden used to be good on Afghanistan. He's the only guy in the Situation Room under Barack Obama who was like, no, we shouldn't put more troops in. But now, because in order to own Trump, national security is being compromised. We'll never leave. I mean, I can see it so clearly. These generals and everybody is just, doing backflips because the Biden team is in. Michelle Flournoy on Afghanistan. She's been talking about Afghanistan for a long time. I went to conferences, 5 years ago with some of the people now who are going to be back into the White House, and they were all saying the same thing then that they are right now. It will just never end, and they use the same rhetoric, and nobody ever gets to challenge them on it. That's the most frustrating part. The journalists are all bought in. I mean, I saw whenever the generals are getting fired, what happened, right? You had like Jake Tapper being like citing. He's like, a senior official says that the conditions are just not there in order to. Of course, they're going to say that. They've been saying that forever,
always,
and they just keep parodying it and letting it out into the public sphere. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and if Trump was like, let's ramp up our troop presence, they'd be like, we got to bring them all home, which would be great. Maybe you should do that as a ploy. I was just looking here for reporting that I saw yesterday from Lee Fong about one of the major defense contractors who was talking about here it is, CEO of defense contracting giant Leidos, to investors regarding Trump's withdrawal of troops. If it quiets down in Iraq and Afghanistan, it's going to get hot someplace else. And unfortunately, history has told us that there's always a place to deploy troops.
Yeah, so they know. All right.
All right, well, I have more Rising for you after this.